Thursday, July 16th, 2015, at a little after 3 p.m. This is the convening of the Commissioners' Cover Sheet Review Committee pursuant to the actions of the full Board of Commissioners last Tuesday, designating Commissioner Alan Shulkin, Democrat of Manhattan, and Commissioner Michael Landino, Republican of the Bronx, to serve as today's Cover Sheet Review Committee. Commissioners, we have a few remaining initial defects to be presented to you, together with printers' letters, as well as amended cover sheets. I think the order will go in is from the fewest to the greatest. So, Victor, if you would start with Queens first, and present to the one defect to the commissioners for Queens.
Well, Commissioner, so this is simply just, there was a typo, instead of writing Queens, they wrote Newark.
On the petition volume,
Yeah, on
those
the
are the actual
petition volume,
volumes.
the volumes right there.
The numbers are correct, it's just a prefix code, so we'll give them a chance to cure it.
And they cured it?
No, they're waiting, they gotta get notice.
What have we done in the past?
Always, that's curable.
Okay.
Yeah, so, Commissioner, if you would sign yes to the Bronx Republicans. That corresponds additionally. Commissioner Schulten. We will give them notice, and they'll have 3 business days from today to cure the defect.
Thank you.
3 business days from when we signed
The
it.
date
When they were
for-
sent.
No, the date
I was
of
the
notice.
first one that
We
was
sent
sent
it on
out. It's getting
Thursday.
harder.
They'll go, it will be the midnight Tuesday. Thank you, Victor. You want to sign your letters? If you want, or you want
You need to go
Oh, you need,
downstairs.
that's,
Yeah.
okay, you got a petition, okay.
Commissioners, we have from Richmond County a petition that is missing page 87 of the 100 pages. Otherwise, it would have been properly sequentially numbered, except for the fact that it's missing page 87. Goes from 86 to 88.
Again, they can cure it. You can order a copy and number it.
And
Do
this
they
is,
renumber after 87, or do they get a new page 87?
no, we number it correctly because we'll match it to the original. They can't add pages at this point. They just can correctly number it. It's the Independence Party petition for district attorney in Richmond County.
Okay, so how do they cure it? You say?
Ordering a copy,
Okay.
which will be numbered 1 through page 100 with no page 88,
87.
87. And when they renumber it after 86,
So
they'll
they
do
just, they
87.
cross off and.
They'll cross off and put the new number
Basically.
in, so we'll end up with 99 pages if they do it correctly
So
Okay.
88 becomes 87 and so on and so on.
All
at the
right.
end. So with your approval, we'll send out the standard notice.
We'll be out here in 10 minutes.
Also from Staten Island, we have a amended cover sheet. This is the original cover sheet with the error, and this is the error in 72 Pierpont, which is 72 Pierpoint. The petition has it as Pierpont, without the I.
And it should have the I.
No, it
It should-
should not.
it-
The original cover sheet
was wrong.
had the I.
The
Correct one
amended,
does not.
so we believe it's a valid cure.
Okay. Do I get something?
Oh, wait, it says Democratic Commissioner.
I can't see.
Did you get a haircut?
Yeah, I got it. That's probably why I can't see.
They took a little extra over the top.
Yeah, they did. I told you guys not to. I just didn't take off the gray.
Commissioner from the Bronx, it's a amended cover sheet in response to our NCN, which
Non-compliance.
indicated
Not compliance with this.
non-compliance notice, which the error in the original cover sheet was that it was attached to the petition. This was filed separately,
And that didn't have a
volume number.
So they followed a separate amended cover sheet, volume number correct, and they have a required certification of the amended cover sheet, so we think it's a valid cure.
Steve thinks you can agree with him because he said that's a standard value.
Don't.
You always cross it off.
You can always write not, or use the not
Invalid.
Yeah.
Just try to put IN.
Well, this one says not valid.
Oh, there.
fourth one I have for you is an address. The original cover sheet, in the original cover sheet, the address, house, or building number is not correct. They have since been amended to the address that's found on the petition.
Amended cover sheet now matches the petition, has the required certification.
Oh, there's the petition.
This is the petition, that's the incorrect cover sheet.
Okay, so
Yes,
this is the
this is the amended, and we believe it, we were recommending it that you find this to be a valid cure.
Gotcha.
It was all found in the original.
Probably some kind of Sabina problem
It was
there. Oh, you got another pen?
Yes.
See, I figured.
And Commissioners, the last one I have is the amended cover sheet correcting the name of the candidate. The name of the candidate on the petition appears without initial. The original cover sheet had an initial. But they have since corrected it so that the name does not have an initial.
And so we believe, we recommend this is a valid cure.
Can you hold your pen too? You need to, you know,
Next question. We did this one, each you get a.
One stands.
Oh, yeah.
You got it, you got
Stand Buzz, a classic pen.
That's right.
it. So that
I'll
finishes
keep
your
this in
amendments,
suit, yeah.
right? That finishes the Bronx and Staten Island?
It's all five
Okay.
of them.
So you can bring the you guys can bring the petition down to get your receipt back.
That was an easy day.
No, we got Brooklyn and Manhattan.
Okay,
there.
It just gets,
Let's call it
hits
quits
you
while
on
we're
the
at
head.
it.
We don't need
So-
to go for it in the head.
First, I have an amended cure. This was with the middle initial.
The original defect was that on the petition in the middle initial appears, the original cover sheet did not. It's corrected on the amended, the team checked it, that they have all the right volumes, nothing, and they have the required authorization. So we're recommending it's a valid cure.
46?
Yes.
Maybe better take a double look.
You wanna take a look?
Yeah.
So when we make these cures, do we notify them that the cures?
But it goes into the ledger book.
Or do they,
If it's not a valid cure, we voted, then they get notice that they can go to court and sue us.
who
Otherwise.
would make
this-
it a valid cure or not a valid cure?
Excuse me?
Who noticed that there was a mistake? We did?
Oh, we did. We sent out the notice of
When we told them,
noncompliance.
and then they
Commissioner,
respond.
this is that's the
They
amended
cure
cover
it.
sheet. This is the notice that went out to the person saying that name on the cover sheet does not match the name on the petition. And that was the original cover sheet. They respond, the way you cure it, the notice gives them that thing is that the defect may be cured within 3 business days of the date of this notice by the filing of an amended cover sheet, which must be filed in person, which they did, the 3 days ran.
I don't know
They got it done.
if we found that it was not valid, then it would go to
Give
court.
them a
We would, no, we would give them written notice that they are off the ballot because it was not a valid cure, and that triggers their ability to seek judicial review,
Right.
which is what we do in that point. The same way, if you take somebody off the ballot at the petition hearings, they get a notice that they will not appear on the ballot, that gives them the 3 days to go to the court and get a proceeding. Okay?
Next, I have the printer's letters.
Okay,
This is the first one.
well, let's show them what the defect was.
Yes. Incomplete address on cover sheet.
Right.
Obsolete zip code.
And the printer's letter here, this is from Progress Printing. It was inadvertently printed, the zip is 1125, it should be 11215. This is the petition. You can see the error where it was misprinted, circled in red.
So it's wrong on the petition.
Yeah, but that's where the printer's letter comes in. It's also wrong on the cover sheet.
That's just the zip code, it's not the name on it.
Right.
So that's
But
fine.
we normally, we've done the commissioners in the past have accepted a printer's letter. We did now accept it. And then you have a defect notice now for the cover sheet to go out.
You know, the printer is in the Bronx, don't you?
Where's the defect sheet for this one? And now, commissioners, based on your acceptance of the printer's letter, now we gotta give them notice to correct the cover sheet, because the cover sheet matched the petition initially without the extra digit. Now they'll get a 3-day notice, and then they will,
Can't do that all at once?
This is the old note, where's the new one? This was the original one that they had, the one we wrote up this morning.
We have a blank if we need it.
Oh, I'm sorry, Commissioner, my mistake. This notice already went out to them, that the address on the cover sheet was incomplete, they haven't cured it yet. So now that the petition's here, if they're gonna cure it, they have 3 days from Monday, so by midnight tonight, if it comes in, and it now matches the printer's letter, it'll be a valid cure. I didn't even read my own note, I'm sorry.
So somebody will be here tomorrow to do the
No,
cover?
no, this will go over to Tuesday. Because there's only a couple coming due of both tomorrow, tonight, and tomorrow night, and Monday night. And anything we go out today, on Thursday, they have till the end, till Tuesday, so that probably means next Thursday, another cover sheet. Okay, next.
Okay. Next is another printer's letter. This is also regarding an address, zip code. The address on the cover sheet does not match the petition.
The incorrect zip code was 12234 on the petition, it should be 11234, it was a typo. And then, Commissioner, if you do accept that, we've already given notice that the cover sheet was incorrect, because the cover sheet had what is now,
We don't have a different stamp?
we used to mark it valid to Commissioner, was it Roger asked that we change it to accept it, so we'll order it for next year.
Okay.
Technically, it's not a cure, I
It's,
suppose.
I should have just crossed, just as been deemed it valid, just not, but he wanted to use the word accepted. Now, Commissioners, with your permission, I'm gonna ask approval.
Do we vote
Now-
6 on that?
No, what, to do the stamp? No, I just need Mike's permission to
No,
spend
we'll
a
have
couple
half
of
an hour
bucks.
worth of conversation.
Commissioners, now, the original cover sheet is now matching the printer's letter. So I'm gonna ask for your authority now to withdraw the NCN. The non-compliance notice, because now the cover sheet matches. Withdraw NCN matches petition as corrected. They ask for an initial, each of you, and we'll give them notice, that they will get a letter by mail saying that we withdrew the initial notice.
Okay, so I have another printer's letter. This one is regarding a name. Yep, the name on the cover sheet did not match the name of the petition.
And this corrects the petition. The cover sheet listed Sheila Boyd, the petition had Sheila Boyd.
What is correct?
Sheila Boyd, based on this,
Boyd?
B-O-Y-D. It
So
says
it
in
was
the-
wrong on the
Yeah,
petition?
and here you have a letter from the Progress Printing Corporation that this was an inadvertent error, that they misspelled it instead of B-O-Y-D, they just left it as B-O-Y.
I don't know about that one. What if we decide not to accept?
They're both.
Goes to the board?
Well, no, then it'll be a prima facie defect, that the cover sheet, there was no cover sheet filed for that candidate. But we have accepted name errors like that with one letter off in the past, including this cycle.
Is there another Sheila Boyd in our system?
At that address? I doubt it.
Our address is in here.
Yes, it is. It is, right across. 2970 West 24th Street, Brooklyn.
Let's hold off and let's have someone check that.
Okay,
There's no Sheila
Right on
Boyd.
address.
we're running out.
You don't want to have it afterwards when it's
Sure.
not.
Well, Larry's doing it.
That's what this is.
Yeah, okay.
I would accept it though. We want to check to see if there's a boy.
I have another printer's letter regarding an address.
The petition listed as 20 Highland Street, it should be 20 Highland Place. Same borough, same zip.
Okay.
And then, Commissioners, if, now that you accept this, this one will get a cover sheet defect letter because the cover sheet matched the original petition listing street instead of place. And they'll get 3 days in which to cure the cover sheet now to match the new petition, the corrected petition. Oh, this is the defect for that. That's what exactly says, that if cover letter, printer's letter approved, then the cover sheet doesn't match.
So what are we gonna sign? You sign yes or no?
Yes, that you want to give them the opportunity now to correct the cover sheet to match the corrected petition.
Yeah, sorry. So, these are the ones when she could not find.
Oh, this is what we found, okay.
Yeah, it's like a cutoff.
Commissioners, based on the copying that was given to us in this instance, we found the defect, and Greg, open up the schedule, that this address on the petition didn't match the schedule. We have a letter from Ms. Potter who prepared the petition, and upon examination, the copy that was provided to us was incorrect. The petition now, the original petition does have the apartment number on there, so it matches the cover sheet. So here again, I'm gonna recommend that the NCN notice be withdrawn. So, but, Commissioner, this may happen occasionally when the copying you found is done not perfectly, simply because we really don't want to deal with originals. That's too valuable to be floating around the office. But in this case, the contact person responded properly. They got the notice and provided us with the information. I think we have one more
Yes,
like that.
exactly. This is another instance.
Show them.
Yep. You can see it says 14.
The
And
cover
it's-
sheet had 14.
And the petition.
14G. The
Yes.
original, the copy of our original petition over here only had 14. The cover sheet claimed 14G, and when we got a full copy of the petition, you can see 14G at the very end. So again, we're recommending withdrawal of the non-compliance notice.
What are you saying? This was cut off? The G was
When
cut
they made
off?
the
Yeah,
copy.
look at the copies.
For us to review.
Let me see the other one.
I also went down and checked on them personally. I saw the G.
Well, I hate to say it, but the G should have been right next to it. I'm not saying it could be cut off.
That's the way the copy came out. It's on the original, Commissioners, if you want. We went down to specifically the originals.
She's saying it was added on after.
I don't know, it looks to me like there's plenty of room to have the G next to it.
Do you want us to get the original petition?
If you,
Yeah,
you want
We
it,
looked,
or-
we looked at it, but,
I think it's 317 and 318, right?
well, no, they.
Do we make
when they did
copies of it when we get the original?
We make a copy of the first page, and that's what we review against. Here, the candidate went in and ordered a copy and provided us all 8 pages with the 14G on them.
the candidate.
So where's our,
provided it?
where's
In
our
the
original
queue.
copy?
Downstairs on the 6th floor.
Where's our original copy, not our
Oh,
original
This is
petition?
our original copy.
It doesn't have a G, but now
No.
our copy has a G? Get the
Well, no,
original.
the original has a G.
Original.
Can you get the original?
Sure.
We'll do that.
Can I get it right now?
No, no, we'll finish up your stuff,
We
you
do both
go
of those
down.
inquiries, the void, and
Yeah,
then
that's why I do the whole thing.
What's
Yeah,
the
I
name?
think someone
That's why I
go
used to
with
do the
you.
whole thing.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get, I put,
We'll try to put stuff on there.
take your meeting.
All the time.
go that, no, let me see, Danny was here, but I can maybe ask him.
Is that the 317 or 318?
This is volume number 318.
Okay, got it.
You'll take this back, all right. So this and this both need review, so you will do that second call from Brooklyn.
Next I have to present is, let's see.
Oh, the printer's letter
Yeah,
for
the printer's
Zilberg. The preparer of the petition, which says that on the print of the petition and the cover sheet, she said it was Zilberg had an extra, had put a D in both the petition and on the cover sheet. And she said it should be spelled without the D. She's given us in the form of a small statement.
And the printer says this?
Yes. This is.
So it's a D and a B.
Well, it should, no, this says Zilder, and it should be Zilber, yeah.
D and a B.
Zilberberg.
B instead of, yeah.
Okay with me.
It doesn't change the name.
Right.
Still just as hard to pronounce.
What's
I
that?
said it's still just as hard to pronounce.
Right.
The D or the B.
Either knows that guy or it's not.
Yeah.
Zilberberg.
Which is why you have that. Now, based on your acceptance of the letter, that it should be without the D, then the cover sheet has to be amended. We're gonna give notice that the D should be taken out of the cover sheet.
Somebody should also notify Mr. Zilberg that he is on the petition.
Well, that's the assumption is
Yeah, I
that
know the
the
assumption,
consent of
I
there.
think
but
he'd say, that's not my name, but if he knew, he would
Now I
say
think
that's
his
not
wife
my
is
name.
coming up.
No, this is Durkowski.
Oh, the casket, then we got
Yes.
his wife too.
And they were both spelled wrong?
Now, same way here. Name on the cover sheet did not match the petition. The notice was sent on 7/9. The printer's letter dated 7/10 here, and filed on 7/13 corrects the name if accepted by the commissioners. The amended cover sheet filed on 7/14 with the printer's letter, amended name to the incorrect spelling, so we'll get to the amended afterwards. First, let's deal with the petition. The original petition, no, this is the cover sheet. Liz, you have the petition there? Had his names, no, that's the cover sheet. You had.
Oh, we attached the petition to his
Yeah.
wife's.
Oh,
Yeah.
no,
No?
Dilber. Duritsky, volume number 308. He said that we attached it. You don't have to pull this back, and you'll have to get, hold this is the next one. You'll have to get the petition to show them. I thought this morning we put them together. All right, Greg, then go to the next one, you'll have to pull out volume 308.
So this is regarding the wife,
This
right?
is the one, yeah.
Zilberberg?
Mrs. It's Beatrice,
This is.
and the same thing happened here. They put a D instead of the B.
Well, who did this though?
This Potter.
This is
Yeah,
handwritten.
yeah, yeah.
This is the sworn statement from the preparer of the petition.
No, it's not.
I'm saying it's not a printer.
Right,
That's
that's
not-
not.
It's a scrivener's letter, yes, so. And then she prepared the cover sheet incorrectly as well.
What have we done in the past?
We've accepted scrivener's letters like printer's letters. If
For
it's,
handwriting?
if
We
it's
have
been,
ones this
if
year as
it's,
well.
if it has been reasonable. In other words, in this case,
It's
D
just
to a
actually
B.
right, it's the same name.
Okay, it's okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like they changed the name altogether.
And the address remains the same.
Thomas Jones.
Yeah.
Spelled it wrong.
Yeah.
Spelled it Zilberberg.
And then commissioners, since it also appeared on the cover sheet, now that we've accepted the printer's, the scrivener's letter, we'll have to give notice to have them amend the cover sheet and take out the D.
Gotcha.
For Mrs.
Mrs. D.
Just hold it, and I'll send Victor back if he's.
Commissioners, this printer's letter is regarding an address.
Bye-bye.
Let's want to jump in and relieve you guys.
They weren't designated.
Tag team.
Okay, commissioners, here, there are two defects, we'll have two separate ones, but the first relates to the address of Maria Una. If the scrivener wrote 122 Bay 8, it should be 129 Bay 8.
What's the second?
The second relates to the name of Miss Spears. It should be, they reversed the I and the E. It should be S-P-I-E-S-S. They had an S-P-E-I-S-S.
That's fine.
Yeah. In days gone by, I tell you, this all wouldn't have thrown off.
I
Put
know.
it in?
They were, yeah, they
They,
wouldn't have
they
thrown
made a lot more liberal the rules.
Well, they have made
Who did this?
the state legislature Governor Cuomo in 1986, Governor Pataki in 1995, and then we've had a couple of smaller changes since then. Needless to say, though, we still have maybe it is a good distinction, we have the most election law litigation in the country.
That's because we have the most lawyers, that's why.
Well,
Yeah, that's
too many
I
lawyers.
don't think know that being permission.
Commissioner Slee, that was
The
it.
initial both of those, and now to correct the cover sheets, we're gonna ask you to initial it so that they change Miss Spears' name to the correct spelling, and they change Miss Viola's address to 129 instead of 122.
Two in the same one, huh?
Text.
Who's attaching notes? It's just smart enough.
Right.
Did you get that?
People want to run for office, they should do this.
This last one also includes, for an address.
The
Street
address
and
should
road.
be, the correct address should be Brighton First Road instead of Brighton First Street.
Who's that, Brook?
Yeah, Brighton Beach.
Brighton First Road, is it Brighton First Road?
Yeah, it's one of the smaller blocks.
Right near the ocean.
No, it's between Brighton Beach Avenue and Ocean View Avenue.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Sounds nice.
the old bungalows there.
I'm gonna use the men's room before we do the next one.
We have one before you go commit, and give me the, now
you
that
go
you've
to the metro?
accepted, now that you,
I had too much coffee in the water.
now that you, Commissioners, now that you've accepted the printer's letter, we're gonna ask them to amend the cover sheet to match the address. Take a 5-minute recess. You can
Get lunch, go to
start.
lunch.
On to the glorious county of New York. Larry, why don't you start with the first?
Okay, on this particular filing, the cover sheet didn't claim the number of volumes that were contained. We sent out a defect letter and an amended cover sheet was returned stating the correct number of volumes.
So, we're recommending this to be a valid view on. You can see the original petition.
That's right.
No, you, right there, you're on copy of the notice. Did not have the number of volumes. It's correctly done, they have the required certification for the county committee, and the schedule is correct, so we're recommending that this be deemed a valid cure.
Okay, in our next filing, there was an incorrect identification number on the cover sheet for the petition number. And an amended cover sheet was received stating the correct petition number. Originally, it was stated as number 21, which is unrelated to the filing. And, so we're recommending that there was a
So,
valid.
you know, it's a valid, the team reviewed it, and as I said, the notice went out that it claimed the incorrect ID number, was in 21, is corrected, and the candidate actually does appear on volume 342, so it matches correctly. This is Gene Scott, John Scott, Gene Grillo, and the county committee schedule.
New York County?
Yeah.
I didn't think they made mistakes there.
They don't make mistakes. We do everything on purpose.
Go ahead.
In our next filing, we noted a defect that there was a difference in zip codes. And we received a printer's error letter. And there were two items there. He mentioned that there was a zip code correction, but didn't state what it was. And then additionally, on the amended filing, we noted that the candidate's name that had been spelled correctly on the original cover sheet was now spelled incorrectly on the amended cover sheet. So we're unable to recommend,
We're recommending a non-valid QO, but let's show it to the commissioners. This is the amended cover sheet. The name now on this is ARRENDELL. The correct name is ARENDELL, so I made a mistake there. In addition, we don't think the printer's letter should be accepted because the letter says that the missing the zip code, the deficiency, the omission of the zip code, but they don't tell us what the zip code should be.
Doesn't explain.
Doesn't explain the error.
Correct, yeah.
It doesn't correct the omission.
So, I'm sorry, because we're not gonna
So-
accept that, I wanna go over it one more time.
We're recommending that we not accept the printer's errors letter
This is only for that one
for
candidate?
the one candidate, and we're also recommending that we amend the cover sheet for the one candidate.
So it doesn't draw out the whole petition.
Doesn't draw out the other candidate, no, it's only she was the only one subject of the NCN notice. You see, we spelled her name correctly there, and we see how it's spelled now on the amended.
So it was amended.
All right.
So we're gonna recommend a not valid, not to accept the printer's letter. So, we haven't used not valid for a while. And then commissioners, for the cover sheet, we're recommending that it's not a valid cure for that candidate only, who got the defect notice.
okay, in this filing, we received an amended cover sheet, and the amended cover sheet was not certified.
As of right, they voluntarily filed an amended cover sheet before last Thursday midnight's deadline. So we treat that like a cover sheet,
It's a new cover sheet.
and we sent them a defect notice because the amended cover sheet didn't have the required certification language. They submitted a second attempt to cure, an attempt to respond to that non-compliance notice. Regrettably, they didn't do it properly, and we can show you why. They failed to list the candidate's address, and they also did not set what party positions they're running for. District leader and district leader are not adequate under the party rules. In Manhattan, has to be either male or female district leader. You look at the original amended cover sheet, commissioners, they had it correctly, they didn't copy it correctly.
And this is position of the male to female.
Male, that's correctly describing position, that's correctly describing position, that had the amendment. The addresses didn't have the certification. They got notice that they had to file an amended cover sheet with the certification, in doing
So
so,
this is for both of them?
yeah.
So they both won't be on the ballot?
Correct.
You concur? Mr. Zavino?
No address, no position described.
Well, I mean, I
Properly
kinda think the
described.
amended is no good, you know, but the fact that they filed this before the deadline.
But
Do we give
it's
them an
amended.
opportunity to change it?
We gave them a chance, they screwed it up, they got that one bite
After
of the apple.
opportunity?
They got the,
After Thursday, we give them a chance? or-
this is, yeah, that's the notice that went out in response, Chief Commissioner. It went out on, well, they filed it on July 9th, which is the date, oh, no, wait.
July 9th was the last day of the petition.
Oh, no, this is the notice.
So
District leader, two of them.
what was the error?
They filed it on July 7th. So they got a notice on July 9th, telling them, because again, why they filed it amended, I do not know. Because the original cover sheet was
See, technically, the first cover sheet that was filed before the deadline isn't necessarily amended, except for the fact that
They
they
called
wrote
it.
amended on it. Only the amended requires that additional certification on the bottom. So,
That's the original.
I don't know if it's an unreasonable position to say it didn't need certification because it was filed as of right before the deadline.
Commissioner, I think what they
That'd be
did
up to you
is,
guys.
on the 7th, they filed an original cover sheet, which would have been fine, except that it didn't authorize sending notices to that contact person, which wouldn't have been done. So they came in, this was at 3/27. They came in at 4/41 to file the amended, to sign it, but they left off the certification.
If they hadn't written amended on there, it would have been completely valid, correct, Steve?
Well, if they didn't, they just filed a second cover sheet,
Right, if you
yes.
file a second cover sheet and not an amended cover sheet, you don't need that special certification, and we accept which one is valid.
But that's why they
If they file
got-
a valid one before the deadline, we accept which one's valid. But by them filing two and then later in the second one amended, it makes it need that certification by all
So you're
rules.
concurring with Mr. Richmond?
I think it's, it's within your discretion.
And we even told them that.
So what's the choice here? Do we give them a chance or not give them a chance?
No. Commissioners, we give everybody, they get one bite at the apple to correct, and that's why we don't present this to the Commissioners Committee till the full 3 business day period runs. And our policy has been in the past that we will not, we do not extend that to them, then they'll get a notice, the remedy will go to court and say that you really don't need the address on the cover sheet or the description.
I agree that this is definitely in there, without a doubt. You know, my only question is to this one is, and where it's in your discretion, and I don't know, maybe there's a precedent for this, Steve.
Well, the Commissioners Committee already ruled this is an invalid cover sheet on,
Well, I have to agree that this is definitely an invalid amended, but I could see how someone might think it
So
was.
we
unfair
agree
not
that
to
this
say
is
that.
invalid, but the question is, do we give them a chance to fix it or not?
you gave them a chance, Commissioner.
He's saying there's no other changes.
So I don't know, so.
Yeah, no,
I-
that is definitely invalid, but I could see where someone might argue it's unfair not to.
Well,
accept
no,
it.
the answer was that why, but it was their voluntary decision to change this one, which was a good cover sheet. It just, not this one, that didn't have a signature on it. And that was the only thing that was wrong, and the only thing that meant was that if there was a defect, we would send it to the candidates and not to the contact person. This is a voluntary, this is a not required part of the cover sheet.
So because they filed it amended,
They, as of right, on their own, without notice to us, they filed an amended. And they attached the original cover sheet, which was originally defective and copied to show what they're amending. There was no intent on their part to file a second cover sheet. They clearly wanted to file an amended cover sheet. Because you can see that, that's why this
But the
copy.
amended one came in before the deadline.
Right,
Correct.
and so we reviewed it as a new cover sheet, and they got notice that the amended cover sheet was not correct. They got one bite to cure.
you wanna go which way?
I don't know, well, this one, obviously, this one, if you want, what we have.
Well, Commissioners, this is, the original cover sheet amended was already found by your predecessor committee to be defective. That's what generated this notice. And they are off the ballot unless this amended cover sheet is deemed valid.
This
And
amended,
that amended cover sheet
Yes.
is definitely not valid, you know.
this one is not though.
Right. And this the prior committee already ruled on the previous documents, and that's why the notice says to them, this, if failure to file an amended cover sheet within the 3 days shall be a fatal defect. And this is the amended cover sheet they filed, which we don't believe is valid.
So what's their, they can go to court, you see.
They can argue in court, yeah, but I'm gonna, Commissioner, how are you gonna say that this is a good cover sheet because it doesn't have the addresses, it doesn't reasonably describe the offices? But that's their remedy they can get. Look,
And there's a
even
difference
though
of
they didn't put the
opinion.
party in the right place, but it's still on the form, so you can say the substantial compliance, at least for the name of the party.
I think they'd have a more
It's
successful
1867,
argument in
yeah,
saying the original cover sheet.
Which is
was
the
valid.
male,
That
which
would
is
be
the
better
female.
argument than fighting over this.
Which end?
And there's a difference of
You can't tell
opinion
the
in the two different
difference?
departments.
Commissioners, we
They
don't
have a shot in
assume.
court.
That's why if you look at the original cover sheet, it specifically says, this is the properly set forth in the title. Female Assembly District Leader and Male Assembly District Leader. They knew what the title was, they can't say they didn't know.
He's an attorney too, Gerald, coming out.
I know. So, I got, my recommendation is this has to be found as an invalid cover sheet, then let them take their chances in court.
All right, based on your,
Recommendation.
I definitely think that one is invalid, it's just whether you have the ability to revisit the prior decisions.
That's, yeah, that's the round.
That's the question. But again, I don't understand why they filed the amendment in the first place, other than to say that they wanted Ms. Schulman as opposed to Mr. Khan to
No
get the
relation to
notices.
Mr. Schulman.
No, really? I didn't think so.
What was the, Elaine, right? Elaine?
Elaine Schulman on East 92nd Street, it's an east side.
Three of them.
I've never been to town guys. I don't know the people on the upper east side.
Next filing arrived without page numbers listed on the schedule, and we sent the defect letter to have the schedule updated. That's the original.
The whole series, no page numbers for the volume, where the county committee was on, no, the original page. It says page number.
And so it was corrected?
No,
We received an amended.
no, give it the whole thing. It's not a valid cure. These people did not, the requirement is to file an amended cover sheet. What you have now is filed separately and not attached was an attempt of a cover sheet, an amended cover sheet, and the original cover sheet. What should have been done is the all should have been attached together. So this schedule is not a valid cure because it doesn't claim a sufficient number of signatures, and this is not attached to anything. So, you know, I don't know what to say, it says see attached schedule, but they didn't attach it to it.
So in this case, they're losing the whole county committee?
Yes. Well, for that part.
I got it already, thank you.
There's another defect notice out there, may be able to come back, because they have the wrong volume number listed too, but that was a separate defect notice, but they haven't cured it yet.
So if they fix everything with.
Well, we'll see, if it depends. Again, if they follow our rules, which say very clearly,
I know we talked to you.
so I don't believe it's a valid cure. Okay. Because it's not attached properly. And the schedule, and just so you know, our rules specifically say that when you're filing the amended cover sheet, you must clearly identify the original cover sheet which is amending by attaching a copy of the original cover sheet which is amending, or attaching a copy of the non-compliance notice. The amended cover sheet must contain all the information required together with the authentication. So the schedule alone doesn't have any of that, and these were not, these were filed loose. And in fact, it's a different time of a minute. So that's why I don't think this is a valid cure. But the defect only applies to the county committee, their candidacies as leader, their candidacies as leader are unaffected.
The last one, you noted defect, the address on the cover sheet and on the petitions did not match. And curve here, they didn't match, and on the amended filing, I'm just looking for,
Or unless it's amended.
yeah, that's right.
Okay, yeah, it's an invalid cure. Commissioners, so the address on the cover sheet and petition doesn't match. In New York 72, the address is 533 Cathedral, and they list this as 535. What they should have done, since the other petitions are correct, is either give us a printer's letter for that volume, or take this volume off the amended cover sheet. But now they are still claiming volume 72, with the address for this candidate alone, the alternate delegate, she's the only one who will come off at 535 Cathedral. Doesn't match.
And who signed this?
Curtis Orlock.
Oh, God.
Well, that's the first page of the video. But Curtis Orlock attempted to make the cure.
Whose petition is that? Oh,
Complete isn't, yeah,
So just one person comes off?
she will come off. Miss Lipset, sorry. As the alternate delegate.
Everyone else stays on?
Yeah, this was the only, she was the only person subject to the defect notice.
All right, do it. I'm gonna sign the other commissioners' names, so it's fine.
Mr. Flack's phone is.
Well, he,
Yeah.
not
No, he's good,
He's
that
on.
means he has less competition.
Well, is he on as the?
He's on the delegate slate.
He's the
isn't he?
delegate, right?
Yeah, so the alternate doesn't affect him.
Court of Appeals, next Court of Appeals.
Okay. Well, you have anything else? That's it.
That's
all
all
right.
I
I found those items.
Put these back. And wait till we
And
get
the
back.
boys.
No, there's
All
actually,
this is yours.
Yeah.
About boys
no, I checked, there is no Sheila Boy.
at all.
Yes,
No
I mean,
problem.
yep,
So I put those back in the folder, take them back. And
So we
then-
never assume, right, Steve? That's what you told me before.
No, we
never
always
assume.
But everything that followed with the board is presumptively valid.
Until they go check it for county committee, and there's no Boyd.
Go ahead.
No Boyd.
There was a board, right?
No,
yes,
there's no,
there's no.
There's no
yes,
boy.
with
There's no
the-
boy.
Thank you.
here is Ms. Boyd's registration materials. Should have this. So that the printer's letter is correct. It was inadvertently spelled as Sheila Boyd.
Okay, and there is no Sheila Boyd in the
No.
borough of Brooklyn,
Nowhere.
Kings County.
Someone could be mistaking this person for
Okay.
the boy.
Okay. I wanted to vote for boy, I didn't want to vote for boy.
No, you're right, usually with the name, there's a heightened level of scrutiny, because you don't want to mislead the voters, as opposed to zip code or street versus avenue.
Again, commissioners, in this case, there is no further defect because the cover sheet had Boyd on it. All right, what's the other two? Let's see.
Okay, and this one, my apologies again, I forgot the petition. 308, I pulled it just now. This is from Kirkowski.
On the petition, they claim it was misspelled, they added an R, D-U-R, it should be D-U-K-O-R-S-K-Y.
Yes.
Go to the commission, no, that's the one we sent down. This is the amendment, oh, so the amended is no good, okay, well, that's why, yes. So commissioners, do you want to accept this as the Scrivener's letter to correct this?
Okay. Since there was no 6 votes to have it right accepted for the rest of the session, we're gonna use the word valid pure.
Okay.
When Commissioner Rajo's here, you can go back to accept it.
Now, commissioners, the amended cover sheet in response to that is now is not valid because in response to the notice that the name didn't agree with the petition, if they left the original cover sheet correct, it would have been done. For whatever reason, she now put the R back in.
Because you tried to correct.
No, this was the correction,
Oh, without the R.
without the R. The reason they got a notice was that initially was that the name on the cover sheet doesn't match the petition because the name on the cover sheet now turned out to be the correct spelling. So once she filed, and Ms. Potter filed both now. Once she filed the printer's letter, then that would make this cover sheet correct. For whatever reason, it's a member, one member of the county committee, the amended is now incorrect, and the time has run. So we think, even though the petition's corrected, we're recommending that it's not a valid cure on the cover sheet. If she did nothing, we would have asked you permission to withdraw the NCN.
I'll sign, but I'm not inclined to throw somebody off for some errors.
Well, Commissioner, you're gonna have a lot to do with the hearing, because if your name or address doesn't match with our system, it comes up on the prima facie list. You get a notice to come in and say what's wrong. But we have an obligation to check our own records to make sure you match. Just as we did with Ms. Boy or Boy.
Right, I'm saying, but I can see if it was some kind of deceit, somebody's doing something. But the fact that the name is spelled wrong and it's not a substantial.
Well, what, Commissioner? Is it just because it's county committee, or you do the same thing for mayor, if they misspell
I
the
would
name
do-
of the
definitely do
mayor?
the same thing for me. How you spell de Blasio?
Okay, commissioners, that actually,
No,
oh, no, yeah, one
that's-
more, oh,
that's
yeah,
the
oh, yeah, the
form.
original one
If
to
you want to
match.
look at further. Remember this one had the.
Oh,
14G, the original has it, and that's the copy we had over this page.
you checked, you're the expert.
I'm the expert, but you know what?
You tell me.
I'll give it to him, because I don't believe we should throw somebody up for an apartment anyhow, but look how close the G is there, and how can the G not be on this one?
Yeah, these are completely different
Maybe
14s,
something
they're
with
different
copy.
14s too.
Same
Yeah,
signatures.
let's make sure. There's a different 14. Maybe there was no apartment number original, no, this is the original one. Look at the 4 is even different than this 4.
The original said,
I'm not inclined to throw somebody up for an
Well, if there's
apartment.
fraud, that.
Well, yeah,
Well, the fraud was, I don't know, who.
At the board.
The fraud might be at the board.
That's what I'm saying.
well, what do you mean?
Somebody put in the G file.
See how that 4 comes all the way out there? That 4 doesn't go out.
Well, I can see the grayness here and the white, like the border, not the copy machine, just cut that out. You know, it took a picture, it didn't
Oh,
print
okay.
anything on it, that's why, because you can see like a gray outline, and then over here it's just pure white, you know, along the edge.
So the
So it
E
looks
came
like a
in
machine
under,
did.
under the 4, so if we make this straight,
Right.
that's where it happened. Commissioner, that's it. So you
Okay.
can see, yeah, the E
There's a
came
gray
out.
shading, a straight line of
Yeah, I
gray
think, I
shading,
think,
and over here is all white.
Commissioner, with all
like
due-
that.
I think this is
Might have been the image
I
from
think
the
this is
machine.
a bad copy that came out of the CIU.
Fair enough.
So,
Must be,
and we'll leave this as valid, Commissioner?
Yes, leave it.
Oh, no, I need you just to say we're gonna withdraw the NCN notice. Initial, we're gonna take off saying that the cover sheet, since the cover sheet
Just
match.
initial here?
Just initial here and I'll stamp it. Commissioner, we're just gonna withdraw the NCN.
Yeah, cut off the initials down here too.
Yeah,
They cut off a piece of the, it's definitely the
Yeah,
copy machine.
down
Just
here.
look at these initials.
the initial,
They cut off the end of
just the initial on the last box when they corrected it, it's missing
the
here.
copy machine.
See,
definitely.
Commissioner?
This initial.
Here, the
Looks
last
like,
end.
looks like almost like 3 letters here, and here it's only 2 letters. So cut off the side of those initials as well.
That, Commissioners, there is no further business to present to you, we appreciate it, and we're pretty close to the 45 minutes, it's 50 minutes.
What was that? You had
I said,
to
we
do
said
that?
we'd be out in 45 minutes.
Now back to your regularly scheduled program.
I want overtime.
This you have to bring downstairs
Yep.
first.